Markets are unpredictable, volatile, complex, but your trading journey doesn't have to be. Hola Prime TV is now live. Every trading day, join top coaches as they break down real-time setups, key levels, live trades across Forex, futures, and crypto. From Tokyo's early momentum, to London's open surge, to New York's high volatility action. We decode every move live. Get sharp analysis, clear strategies, and insights that actually make sense. And yeah, we don't just break down charts. We crack a few smiles too. Only on Hola Prime TV. This is more than content. This is infotainment and beyond.
Hello, everybody. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Coach Paul, and this is the Hola Prime Market News Update. As for the U.S. futures markets, we had the equity markets continuing their bullish moves today. The S&P 500 futures gained a 0.45%. Had a 4.5% gain on the day and reached a new all-time high of 67.56 3/4. The Nasdaq was even stronger, posting a 0.54% gain on the day, hitting a new all-time high of 25,027 and is currently trading right below the 25,000 level. The Dow Jones had the worst day of the three indices, once again gaining about 0.18%, but did make a new all-time high as well of 46,786 and is currently trading at 46,711. On the international market news front, we have some Australian economic data that was released this evening. Australia's S&P Global Composite PMI declined from 55.5 to 52.1 in September. Their manufacturing PMI is down to 51.6, while their services PMI is down to 52 in September. We also have some news that came out of Germany, where tax revenue rose by 2% in August. On the USD futures FX pairs, US dollar showed some signs of life today amongst the major currency pairs. USD Euro rallied about 0.5% and is currently trading at 1.186 as of this writing. The strongest of the USD pairs on this list today. USD CAD was the only loser on the day, losing 0.28% and is currently trading at 0.7262. USD GBP logged a 0.34% gain on the day and is currently trading at 1.352. The Swiss franc rallied about 0.4% versus the US dollar and is currently trading at 1.2744. The Japanese yen recorded a small gain in today's trading session, gaining 0.15%, is currently trading at 147.7 yen to the US dollar. Lastly, the New Zealand dollar gained 0.2% against the US dollar today. The pair is currently trading at 0.5885. On the cryptocurrencies, they mostly were painted red today, essentially all coins seeing a loss. Bitcoin is down 2.4%, currently trading at 112,750 as of this writing, while Ethereum is down 6.3% and currently trading at $4,208. We also have Litecoin down 8%, trading at $106, XRP down 4.3%, trading at $2.85, and Solana down 7.35%, trading at $220 roughly. Commodities, on the commodities front, gold futures rocketed upwards 1.65% on the day, closing right below its all-time high of $3,783 per troy ounce. Silver futures had even bigger gains, logging a 2.18% gain and currently trading at $44.31 per troy ounce. WTI crude oil futures were flat on the day, settling at about $62.30 per barrel, which is close to its relative support area of about $61.50 that we've seen over the past month and a half. As for key events, tomorrow we have flash manufacturing and services PMI numbers coming out at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as Fed Chairman Powell speaking at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be a very interesting one. We'll see if some volatility could come out of that. Now, without further ado, it is time for our Quiet Markets Live trading session with both myself and Coach Tiger. So let's get to the trading, folks. Coach Tiger, how are you doing, my friend? Looking good.
Another beautiful Monday. How you doing, boss?
Awesome. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm actually, funny enough, I'm in a trade already. I got in a trade like 5 minutes before our session started. I got long the S&P 500 futures, and already it was looking great for about 3 minutes, and it is not looking as great now. But the Nasdaq is trying to help me out a little bit, so. But I am in a trade at least already to start the session. So
world
fun
record
stuff,
time.
Fun stuff.
Oh, that's great.
How are you doing? How's the trading day treating you?
I didn't find anything on Forex Fire this morning. I tried all my five-minute zones all the way down to the smallest time frame, and I just didn't have anything screaming at me. It's kind of like that usually on a Monday. I don't seem to have very many trades on Mondays. Really, the action for me personally usually starts about this time / Forex Fire for Tuesday morning. So yeah, definitely be trying to find some small zones tonight. See what we can find. Got a kind of a slim pickings on my top setups with the interest rate decision last week. It kind of flipped everything, which it usually does. That NFP, some of those other really red folder type events. So it just kind of turned everything upside down. But yeah, I've got about half of the top setups that I had last week. So just like a small handful of alerts, and then another small handful of like 5 and 15-minute zones I'm keeping an eye on. So yeah, it's pretty low at the moment. But yeah, as far as just kind of a overview of what I'm looking at. Yeah, here we go. I'll just get right straight to the top setups. I mean, it's like I say, it's pretty slim. It's basically currency pairs plus the Nikkei. So I had found a really good entry on the Nikkei in Forex Fire, but it missed it by like a few points, and it's kind of run off without me. I put a limit order in because I wanted to get into it even during my sleep time, right? But just flipping on over to that. Nikkei, where are you hiding? There you are. Yeah, so this is basically what I was the best I could come up with this morning. I had a couple demand zones here on a 1 hour time frame. So I had one here, and then I had one down here. This one, though, I didn't want to bother with because it had already been mitigated, already been touched right up in here. So as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty efficient market. price action all throughout this area until we get to here where we had this little gap up with a nice hour demand zone down beneath. Had a really nice volume push out. And then that volume was strong enough to push price and close above this overhead supply zone. So that shows me that there's pretty good strength there. That supply zone it closed out was a very strong momentum drop to the downside. Obviously, that would have been what was our Friday event? It's already slipping my mind here. Friday. Unemployment claims, yeah. And then among other things, bank rate for the British pound. Obviously, we had the Japan policy rate as well. So, yeah, we just kind of created this big, ugly wick to the downside. And I hate these types of wicks right here because, like Coach Michael says, usually you got a lot of trapped volume in there. You never know if banks want to go below the zone itself or below the wick. So, yeah, even if you go all the way down to smaller time frames, it just – you kind of have a little bit of a zone all the way at the bottom. But I was more interested in this price action up top here. And, but yeah, it gave me everything I wanted as far as a setup. I had a double bottom just above the zone, which typically hides and harbors those stop losses, which are sell orders that the banks need for their buy orders and then unfilled orders from the zone itself. But yeah, it just never came back. So it just ran off and left me, Coach Paul. And then, the plan was obviously sell it just ahead of this overhead supply zone on a 5-minute time frame. So worked out, just didn't get the trigger. So at this point, at this point, I'll probably just go ahead and close out the limit order. I have an alert set on it. So if price revisits it, then I'll be interested in taking a look. But at this point, since price has already moved and made new highs, I'll just watch it on an alert basis if it comes back, see what it does. But
that's a good idea.
Really nice setup. I was pretty happy with it. Just price had other plans. So
right.
And then Nikkei is back on my bullish list, like I said, +5. So it's that's really it as far as indices go. Just the Nikkei and handful of currency pairs. So
nice.
But what about you, brother? How was your intraday session?
It was good. It was a little bit, unfortunately, it was a little bit like for as trendy as the market was today, I didn't have many trades. I mean, I ended the day up a little bit over $500. I made 2 trades. One in the very early, the first 10 minutes of the regular trading hour session, and I got long a cattle contract, and I made $405 off of that. It moved to the upside. It really moved to the upside. It was great. I mean, it was a really good trade. Learning the cattle market is making me extremely happy, to be quite honest. I'm not going to lie. I love trading cattle. It's my favorite product at this point, aside from the ES.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it a lot. I think I just simply understand the illiquidity a lot. I understand how to play around it. And I have a relatively good track record over the last month and a half of just taking advantage of the illiquidity and understanding when we're in a trend with the product and following it. And like I'm saying, taking advantage of that illiquidity, because when you can be in the right direction of its trends and it's going to pop, and when it pops or breaks down, you get that move. You get it instantly. It's happening instantly. And it's just fantastic. And then on top of that, I had the ES trade today. I made 2.5 points on it. So a little over $100, which is unfortunate because I had my stop I was trying to move my stop away because I trailed a little bit too closely. And then I was like, I need to move my stop down. Like, I don't know why I'm trailing so closely. And then it wicked me out and then kept going up. And I was like, and then by the time you know
Of
it, we
course.
end the session like up 25 more points. And I was going to at least hold it for another like 6 points or so, which is why I was aggravated with myself a little bit there. But you know, it's fine. It was a green day. It was a really good green day. I mean, up another $500. I dug myself out of a hole in one of my challenge accounts, which is fantastic. I've got a few challenge accounts in really good standing right now, and just chipping away at all of them. See if we can't get a few of them past, you know, in the next like 2 weeks to a month, and then show all of our, you know, viewers and show that it's possible to do it with cattle and this S&P 500 future and gold. I've been, you know, it's so funny. It's like, yo, what do you trade, man? Yeah, I trade gold, gold, and the S&P 500. It's like, well, who
Getting
are
paid
you?
for
Like,
Bertha.
who is this? Yeah, who is this guy, man? Like, this guy's a
So that's
weirdo.
interesting.
But
No, that's
no,
but
yeah,
that's interesting. So it's an illiquid market, but you've kind of found a little bit of an edge in it. That's yeah. It's not
yeah,
something we
yeah,
hear all the time, right? We always hear
yeah.
trade liquid markets, trade something that you can instantly get in and out of, and you don't get whipsawed on your spreads and that kind of thing. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think everybody's going to
Yeah.
want to learn your secret on that.
Oh yeah,
'Cause,
for
yeah, it's
sure.
not
And
so.
I've gone over my like setups a couple times in cattle, of like what I'm looking for and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure viewers will catch on if they haven't already with what I'm looking for usually and whatnot. And I try to go through it as thoroughly as I can, and I'm very transparent about it and what levels I'm looking at and why, and like what liquidity I'm looking for, and the reason I am bullish or bearish on it at the moment in time. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to be trading it for the foreseeable future, that's for sure. So there'll be plenty more opportunity to see me catch some moves on it, and I'll always make that joke. I'll always be making that joke for sure.
Daryl does it
But yeah, that
perfect.
was the morning, and then and that was really it, man. And then it was like at 12 p.m. Eastern, that Nvidia news came out about them wanting investing up to like 100 billion in OpenAI, and then the markets were just like off to the races after that. So it was
Yeah.
hard. It was, again, like I've used this metaphor or analogy before. It's like it's literally just you're jumping into the deep end. You just plug your nose, you jump in, and you ride the wave to the upside. But the problem with that is it's hard to define your risk in those markets, in those like trendy markets where you're melting up. It's hard to to find a solid place to jump in without getting whipped out, and you usually have to give yourself a little bit more room in case there's, you know, a little bit larger of a move, and then it continues to the upside. So, you know, I wasn't able to get into another long in the ES or the NASDAQ or Dow or anything. But like I said, green day, good day. I'm cool with it.
No, that's great.
So,
That
yeah.
is great. I'm just marking up a alert or two here on XAU USD just to see if we can't get a little bit of a retracement down here during quiet markets. I really want to trade something. I'm itching. I'm just itching.
Oh, dude, another
And
one today. Actually, FXJ brought it up in the chat. Um, he said sellers rip on XAU USD. Yeah, that is spoken lightly, my friend. Oh my goodness, did gold just
oh yeah,
rip it? I mean, my goodness, was it ripping faces off today? I mean, I
yeah.
actually
There you go.
I got to I was taking a break after the morning session, and it was somewhere around like 37. You know what? I can just, you know, let me just let me look at the chart real quick. I'll
Yeah,
show
I was
the,
keeping
I'll
an eye
warm up and
on.
show it,
I was
but I'll
keeping
pull
an eye
folks
on
up.
a 2-minute zone this morning, and
Yeah,
of course, wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? That's about the time I fell asleep. It dropped in. Because price was right here at this point, and I was trying to break this high over here. That's why I drew my projection tool, and it did it. I mean, it obviously, anytime I draw these projection tools, I'm not intending on it to follow that exact path. It's just the point. Hey, I need to break a high and then eventually obviously come back down to my zone. So yeah, it actually dropped in perfect on this little 2-minute demand zone and had a nice bounce up. But yeah, just missed that one. So there would have been a good. I thought about putting a limit order on that, but I feel like it's a little sketchy putting a limit order on a, what is it, about a $2.50 range. Well, plus another probably 2.5, 3 for the stop loss, which I would have put down here, obviously. But hindsight.
And
should have limit ordered it.
Same here. I had a similar situation with me. It was at 1:33 p.m. Eastern time. I was like, ooh, we've been, the whole day we've been obviously going up super bullish, and I was looking to try and get in along at some point. And I get back to my desk, so I started my break at 12 p.m. to take lunch and everything. Get back to my desk at like 1:33 p.m. Like literally on, like I'm specifically mentioning this minute on purpose because I get down, I sit down on the desk or at the desk, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, strong momentum again. And we're doing a little bit of a pullback here to an EMA. We can share my screen if we want to, actually, and I can just show the levels exactly. And I'm like, ooh, I think I'm going to get long here. Then something weird happened on the order flow, and I hesitated for a couple minutes, and then like it just started ripping up, and then it ripped past all this liquidity that I was looking at. And man, was I slamming my fist on the desk, to be quite honest, because I was like, I don't know why I even hesitated. Like gold makes me hesitate sometimes, which I am finding, like I've noticed that about myself in the last like week or so. I'm like, why am I seem to hesitate on gold like way more than anything else. You don't see me hesitating on cattle, but on gold for some reason I'll hesitate. And so yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. But would have been a great trade, would have been like a solid $5 an ounce there. And there was really no reason to take this.
So the setup is there, but your gut is just telling you to wait. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that too.
That was.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
But it keeps me out of more. It keeps me out of more bad trades than good trades, I would say. I mean, I think we were talking about this this morning. We had a pretty good discussion about it at Forex Fire. Like there'll come a point in time where you get to see just obviously thousands and thousands of hours of charts, thousands of hours of, in my case, supply and demand zones, gaps, all that fun stuff, RSI divergences. You'll get to that point to where, at the end of the day, if you need a final decision, sometimes you just got to listen to your gut. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, and it's probably difficult to explain. But even if you have a good setup, like sometimes my gut will just say, "Well, let's just, I need to just avoid it." But for whatever reason, I'm usually more right than I am wrong. I mean, I'll miss a trade here or there, but it's one of those unexplainable things. It's just like a trader's sense or sixth sense or something. But your gut overrides your good-looking setup. So it can be annoying but beneficial at the same time.
Right. There are times where, I mean, because like the reality is, sometimes there is like, maybe your gut's telling you that because it's not meeting as many, like just generally speaking, it's you subconsciously holding yourself back because it doesn't meet the parameters of your strategy as well as you really know that they could meet them. So like just generally speaking, you subconsciously are like, just pull the reins back. And I think that the reason why, and that kind of bodes well to the reason as to why I held back on that gold trade, because there was no levels I was playing off of or anything. It was purely momentum combined with the order, like my order flow analysis, essentially just analyzing order flow in real time and looking at the aggressive buyers and sellers. And just a part of me really wanted like a value area to be in play or something, because we had just, but there isn't, because we had run so much and to the upside, it was just purely going to be a momentum play. And you needed to understand that that was the risk. It's like you're playing the momentum, and there's nothing wrong with anybody trading the momentum. Like I genuinely wanted to pull the trigger, and I should have pulled the trigger if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But it just simply was a momentum thing. It was simpler than what I normally would want to see from my setups essentially. And it held me back. So is what it is. But I got to get used to those momentum situations as well. Like being real with myself and understanding it's okay. It doesn't necessarily meet your criteria 100%, but like it's because of the type of market you're in. It's because you're in gold right now, which is screaming to the upside, super bullish. And, taking the risk isn't necessarily a bad thing to play the momentum. So,
Yeah.
lessons learned of sorts.
No, that's really cool. You bring up the subject of momentum because, like I've been doing the last few weekends, just spending a few hours on a Saturday, or in this case, it was yesterday, Sunday, trying to just looking at one little piece of the trading style I have. What am I doing good? What am I doing bad? What can I get better at? And the subject of momentum is actually what I focused on. Just as far as looking at the legs and price, right? It's probably something probably easier to show on the chart, but yeah, just not fighting the momentum itself. I mean, if you're in an uptrend and your retracement legs are starting to get steeper and steeper, and then your trending legs are starting to get lazier and lazier, well, that's a good sign that the end could be in the end of that trend could be near. So, or if it's the opposite, if you've got lazy pullbacks in an uptrend and then your up moves are screaming up, like it's taken a fraction of the time to make that same price movement as your retracement legs, like that's a great momentum play to see that, yeah, you're still in a strong uptrend. So that was actually something I focused on pretty substantially yesterday. So ironic that you bring up the subject of momentum, because that's actually what I was looking at. And it's not something I don't think that's talked about a lot. I mean, it's really not, like just being able to see the momentum and the speed of the price movements, the trending, the retracements, so on and so forth. But it's quite important. It really is. Just being able to make sure you're on the right side of momentum. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think it's one of the harder things to trade well. I think like trading momentum, relatively speaking, is one of the tougher things to do because because things are moving so quickly, and it requires a lot of discretion, like and understanding. Like if you're not paying attention to the right things, you can be tricked. Like you can easily be tricked. So it's definitely more. It's not like for the faint-hearted or the I would say the beginner trader to just think that how to trade the momentum. I think it requires a lot, like your eyeballs to have seen it a lot and been a part of it and like in the thick of things a lot more than not. So yeah.
And the beautiful thing I was just going to say is just about everything we need to know about where price is going is in the candles themselves. I mean, we have all these indicators and oscillators and odds enhancers, like I like to call them, at our disposal. But at the end of the day, just the simple naked charts, the naked price action is really all you really have to have. Now, you have oscillators and indicators to make things easier and quicker to spot as far as trend, as far as momentum and this and that, divergences, convergences. But yeah, I mean, you can really just see it all on a price action, the price chart on the candles themselves, the good old Japanese candlesticks, right? So it's kind of it's something I've been working on a little more as well, just trying to get away from all the indicators. Now I've gotten rid of a ton of them. I mean, I used to have the commodity channel index on here, all kinds of RSIs and MACDs and all the stuff. But, after a while, I started to realize it's telling me the same thing that I can just see in the chart. Now it's quicker, but yeah, just good old fashioned naked chart trading, man. It's really all a person has to have. I mean, I love VWAP. I love, some of these other things I use, but just again, because it saves time. But yeah, at the end of the day, you can see it all on a price chart.
I mean, it's.
I got to open my
good.
window.
Yeah.
Just one second. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's getting a little warm.
No worries.
There we go. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. And it's funny. It's like this. I would say the same thing in the futures for the sake of like if somebody was like, hey, you can have indicators, or you can have like you can have like a chart, the candlestick chart with indicators, or you can have simply just the order flow, and you can look at the bid offer ladder with the order flow. I would pick the order flow like every time.
Yeah,
which is funny because
sure.
It's like that's even simplicity. Like it's just the simplicity of it. And if you are used to looking at the order flow, you just generally speaking can start to pick up like the understanding of aggressive buyers and sellers, and certain areas being more important than others. And
and when I make that statement, that's looking at it as a Forex trader. But yeah, looking at it as a futures trader, no, that is your cheat sheet right there. I'm jealous. I said that on your stream earlier this morning. I'm sure you saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Yeah. But we just have to get we just have to get creative.
That's why
Forex trading.
That's specifically why I said for futures, like when I just said that, because I know it's for you, it is a genuinely different ball game. Like you have to deal with something like you don't have a choice. You don't. Yep. It's not like you even have the choice in the first place. So,
exactly.
Aside from if you are trading one of those super popular USD pairs, then fine. Like there is a choice. It's a very niche area where you have the choice, or I guess like you can use the gold futures order flow to then try and translate over to the trade in the CFDs or what have you. But it's very few and far in between in terms of what you can and can't use. So awesome thing is right now my long ES trade is finally panning out after about 30 minutes of being in it. So let's we need to break through the 7250 level though. 7250 needs to go home, and we need to break to the upside. I have my target pretty far up there, to be quite honest. Not sure if we're going to get there. I mean, all-time high is literally 56 3/4 on the ES here. So NASDAQ has to break above 25,005. And then if it runs, I would say if the NASDAQ here, I can pull up the NASDAQ really quickly. If the NASDAQ is able to make a run up to this line, that's the all-time high that was made in the last session. If we're able to make a run up to there in the overnight here, I think that the ES will get to somewhere around my target profit level. So we'll see. There's a lot of liquidity. That's where a lot of the liquidity is on the offer in the ES, which is why I'm targeting the 59, between 59 and 60 level. So we might see like buyers try to get up to that point to retest the all-time high in the overnight, and then it might become like an exhaustive move where we come back and then we come back down. So the buyers just like quickly exhaust and maybe come back down. That's kind of the pathing scenario that I'm developing in my head here, or my thesis of sorts for this trade. So yep, we'll see though. Maybe it might take the whole session. I don't even know, to be quite honest. It could take It could not happen at all. It could just stay here for the whole session, but it could either happen in
Yep.
5-10 minutes, or it could take an hour and a half or not happen at all. So, but fingers crossed it happens in an hour and a half before the end of the session.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, on Nikkei, I guess I need to move my alert a little higher. I got a new demand zone that formed since I was asleep, dreaming about supply and demand zones. Right.
As all of us traders do.
You know, it's funny. I don't know that I've ever had a whole lot of dreams about trading. I have dreams still to this day. When I worked for American Eagle Outfitters, I worked at the distribution center, and I spent several years in my early 20s loading trailers, loading the cases of clothing into trailers and unloading, receiving the shipping docks and all that. And I still to this day will have dreams about like throwing cartons into the wall, into the trailer. Now, did I get that wall tight enough? Do I have room to throw more boxes up top there? Yeah, it's exhausting. It's exhausting because I did it for so long early on that, yeah, I've always like, okay, I need to make sure this wall looks good. Make sure there's no spacing. Yeah, it's exhausting. And then I'll wake up and slap myself like, you don't work there anymore. That was 20 years ago.
That was
kind of funny.
Right. That was 20 years ago. Yeah.
And I'll be thinking about
it.
In my dream, I'm thinking, and I'm wearing myself out thinking, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, I can forget about it.
Yeah, your heart's racing. Like you wake up and your heart's racing because it genuinely felt real.
I don't know how many people think in their dreams, but I'm one of them, and it drives me nuts. I'm trying to relax and sleep, and not think about anything.
For the longest, dude, it's funny. Like, so obviously high school graduates, 19, then I go to, or at 18, and then I turn 19 going into my freshman year of college. And then I graduate college. I'm like literally like a 26-year-old, like professional adult working my first, professional job or whatever. And I would wake up in the middle of the night, like super concerned because thinking I missed an assignment back in like middle school. Okay.
Yep.
Like crazy. Like, dude, I am 15 years older than when that happened, or like something in high school, like missing an assignment, or like thinking that there was a test the next day and that I didn't study for it or something. And I'm just like, dude, this is wild, man. Like, how is my brain transporting me back and making me think that like this is a thing? So I know exactly, in some sort of fashion, I'm with you there for sure.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So we have
ridiculous.
It is. Yeah. We have a poll question. US is flexing muscles versus the euro and the British pound. What's your next trade? You going to go long? Well, they got it backwards. It's actually euro dollar. You going to go long euro dollar? You going to go long the pound dollar? Or are you going to go long the dollar CAD? Or are you going to sit flat? Mm-hmm. So that's actually a few pairs I can look at. We can take a look at that real time. How about that?
Yeah. The funny thing is, so me not being an FX trader, but I just generally am paying like just seeing what they're doing on a daily basis with the news and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wrong to want to pick the euro in this situation? Is it wrong to pick the euro? Do you think that one is the strongest? I need to hear from the professional here. I need to hear from the professional.
Yeah, well, we can take a look at the hard data if we want to flip on over to my chart.
Let's do it.
The data tells all. The hard data. So currently, as far as the strength of the currencies themselves, the answer to that would be the pound. So the British pound, just looking at it from a fundamental economic outperformance / underperformance mindset, British pound has exceeded expectations on 60% of their fundamental report releases on the economic calendar. Euro, only 33%. And then the dollar, 44%. So, oh, and then the Canada dollar, by the way, is the worst. So, actually, yeah, I mean, probably the best route would be the pound, either the pound dollar, or if you can match up the pound Canada dollar, right? Because you got the strongest currency versus the weakest currency. So it's off script from the poll question, but my answer would be pound dollar, or a pound Canada dollar.
Okay.
Because you could buy the dollar and sell the Canada dollar, so the dollar CAD pair, but the dollar's not looking so hot itself, right? It's a little on the weaker side as well. It's up to the neutral cap. We actually exceeded 44% because we had a really good week last week.
Mm-hmm.
So just a recap last week, and this might help answer that question a little better. Where is I got so many charts on here. Oh my gosh. The MC Hammer Pants. We were talking about that on Forex Fire the other day. Where the hell did my report go? Sorry, I got a copy of a report over. So we'll take a quick look at the U.S. economic heat map, and this will help us to kind of better explain that. Because last week's good news actually helped the dollar. So does that mean just for a short-term uptrend? I don't know. I'm no economist. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to observe the price action. But yeah, just a recap of last week, because this is what I always like to do on the market kickoff, Forex Fire on Monday, and then the Quiet Market Show on Monday as well, since we have different audiences at different times. But just looking at last week, the only two releases we had, which is obviously going to be in yellow. Anytime you see a yellow date, as always, that's within the last 7 calendar days. So we had a good week last week for the dollar. Retail sales number was just a nice hot reading. I mean, it was 3 times higher than the forecast, 0.6. So bullish for the dollar itself and the stock indexes, or the stock market here in the U.S. And then a couple days later, we had a really good jobless claims number. As a reminder, the one we had 2 weeks ago was hideous. So they had the 2 weeks ago, they had forecasted at 230,000, I think. The number came out 263,000, but then they actually revised it up 1,000. So 264,000 whenever they released this back on the 18th, or revised it, I should say. But then, we had 9,000 less jobless claims compared to the forecast. So bullish for the U.S. dollar, bullish for the stock market. So, and then of course we had a meets expectations reading on the interest rates, right? The 25 basis point cut. So that in itself wasn't a surprise. What was the surprise was, before that release came out, we were expecting maybe one other rate cut this year. Well, after that, you look at the CME FedWatch tool now, and we've actually priced in an additional rate cut. So that's actually something I want to take a look at and get an up-to-date number. So that's where I think a lot of the volatility came from, was the fact that they added in the other rate cut. Because now we look at October 29th meeting, and we are projected to drop another 25 basis points. So that's 89.8% chance. And that's the bond market pricing this in, just as a reminder, when you're looking at the FedWatch tool, the CME group FedWatch tool for everybody. So 89%, 90%, might as well just say 90% chance. And then only a 10% chance that they keep it the same. Well, that's October. So then you flip on out to December 10th, which is the last one. And we have a 75.3% chance that we drop another 25 basis points to only 23% chance of keeping it the same. So that all changed on Friday with the rate, with the results of the rate release, the 25 point cut we had. So we had pretty good amount of volatility. I don't think it was anything too crazy compared to a lot of other rates, or even like NFP or anything like that really moves the markets. But nevertheless, that was a change. Now we had Governor Miron, who was the Trump appointee, that came in, and you look at the dot plot, and he's the one picking the most rate cuts, which really to me isn't a surprise. Probably not a surprise to you as well. But
right,
he's definitely more on the side of cutting these things. So just kind of throws another wrench in the fire. It'll be interesting to see the spreads as far as voting and dissenting and all that with him in there now. But yeah, I mean that was kind of the picture of the dollar this week, though. Just looking at the economic calendar, this to me is a light week for the dollar. Now we have the PMI data coming out on Tuesday. Some say that doesn't really. Some say that's one of the least important of the red folder events. I think they're all important as a collection, but yeah, as far as an individual, that's not me saying that. That's some people saying that. PMI, not a big deal. Maybe it should be an orange folder or middle impact. But this is what suppliers are paying, right? Paying for their whatever, their raw materials, their services, that kind of thing, which eventually makes its way to our pocketbooks.
Real quick, I apologize. So I told the production crew to get onto my screen real quick, literally, and we caught the last 10 seconds of that move that I just had. I got long gold. I got long 3 micro gold at 37.89, and we just wrote it right up to 37.93 within literally 3 minutes. The bullishness was getting insane. I started getting long. I actually got only long 1 micro in this little consolidation area, and then I added a couple as we got up to 89, and then we just started breaking out there. So I just so I made $100. I made 100 on that micro gold, just off of 3 micro gold in 5 minutes. Was able to secure $100, which is hilarious to think just the micros can do that much work for you with P&L there. But yeah,
dropped beautifully. Dropped beautifully into his zone. Demand zone.
Oh no. I should have interrupted and been like, Tiger, gold, look at it.
Look at gold now. The boring stuff can wait.
I'm actually going to move my ES to break even. I just moved it to break even because it just started dropping like a rock there for a second. So I might re-enter long if we don't break through this 50 period EMA on ES. But for now, I'm out of position. And yeah, I'll update everything. Hold on 1 second. My earphones just tagged out. They think I've been on my earphones for too long, or the earphones try to protect my hearing, and it cuts out if it thinks the decibels are doing something wonky, and I have to reset it on the side here for it to then pop back up. So it's good now. Kind of weird, yeah. So I mean, I have to protect my hearing at all costs at this point. The amount of rock, the amount of guitar and rock music I've listened to and played, through my amp as a 14-year-old kid up until now is really taking a beating on my ears. So
gotta save them.
Yeah,
gotta save them. Yeah, dang it. Yeah, that was just a beautiful drop into a demand zone. Bounce right off of it.
Dang,
but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
We're still going too. Look at this. So we just consolidated for about we consolidated for literally 2 minutes there. As soon as I got out at the, I'll just mark it up real quick. My target profit was at that little purple square, and then I got in all here. That's where I got into my trade. Got out $4 higher, $5 ish higher, and then we pulled back initially. And I was thinking, "Ooh, wow, sellers are entering. Okay, maybe it's just a retest that all-time high." Consolidates, immediately breaks the all-time high, and now looks to consolidate again and try to take out some more liquidity. There's even more liquidity up at 37.98 that I see on the offer right now. So we could just rally another $5 higher within a few, and then 3,800 has a bunch of liquidity as well. So this is the thing about seeing the bid offer ladder and the depth of the market, just understanding. Yeah,
that's it. I need my futures account right away.
You need it stat.
Yeah. Well, I always looked at Forex trading is more higher time frame stuff anyway. So, set my 4 hour, 1 hour zones, daily zones. And then,
Yeah.
that's partly why I got into, as silly as it sounds, that's partly why I got into penny stock trading, just to have something to do on the smaller time frames. But
Right.
yeah, with the way with the way you have the access to the liquidity, I mean, that's just like, I think it's a cheat sheet. I think it's awesome. So
It really is, dude.
as far as playing down on the 1 and 5 minute time frames or 2-3 minute time frames. So
Yeah.
it's got to
Yeah, man.
get it. It's got to join. Got to two-time my
You'll get it.
Forex market. Be a two-timer, right?
Yes. Yes. I'm contemplating getting long again here. I just for this little ride up.
Yeah.
Gosh. It's always so difficult for me once I've caught the really good move and I see it consolidating and I'm like, okay, well maybe I should just get back into this. Especially with gold, specifically gold is the hardest one for me to be able to just jump back in. I don't have as much of a problem jumping back in with with the ES, but
Mm-hmm.
gold just there's something about it that sketches me out at times because of this volatility, but yeah, we just had a bunch of buyers enter at 37.95, a ton of aggressive delta, and then we came back down again. So we're going to push through this. It looks like we're going to push through it. I mean, a bunch of sellers just tried to slam things down, but then all of a sudden buyers started entering again. I would be surprised if we don't push through, to be quite honest. Unless the buyers just decide to absolutely give up here. This will be hilarious. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. There's going to be a point where I could possibly see a huge aggressive negative delta bubble form. And then all of a sudden buyers just come in, make those shorts puke. And then it just goes up to 37.98. I would laugh so hard if that happens, to be honest. Is it going to happen
Chuck.
now? Is it? Yeah. Oh,
Chuck.
gosh. But anyway, so that was interesting. That was good. I mean, it looks like the ES now is actually starting to do what I wanted it to do in the first place, and before it consolidated there for a while. Dang, dude. Okay, the ES is going to be gone. Well, maybe if I can enter on this little pullback, maybe it'll pull back a little bit for me.
What does S&P look like? Yeah, it's a mile away from any of my zones, I think. Yeah, not much liquidity there. Double bottom. I feel like I need a deeper retracement as far as zones goes. Got a nice 1 hour demand zone on all the indices, actually, not too far down. But then I have another one lower, which is closest to the origin of that overall strong move since about 8 a.m. this morning. And I feel like that would be the better one as far as demand zones go. Decisions.
If we can get a small pullback, I'll take the long in the ES. Just a small pullback, back down to 52. I'll take it.
Ooh, might even look at a 4 hour demand here. Got a 10. I'm going to delete that zone. That's old news. And it's too far away. That's a 1 hour. La, 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 la. Come down to my price point. I'm cheap. I want my discount. I ain't paying full price for crab legs.
Give him the crab legs, please. Just put them on a red light special. Come on.
I don't know. That sounds like it'd be sketchy. They might be spoiled when it put it that way. I don't know that I want seafood poisoning. So
yeah, you got to boil them in the next 10 minutes, or it's going to be bad news.
Yep, that's true. Let's see here. 15, 10 minute, 15. Yeah, I was looking through the indices myself, and I just just a little farther away than I want right now.
Hey, Tom.
But yeah, I
Good.
missed that. I missed the equivalence on the CFD for gold. And I had a brilliant 5-minute demand there, and it just came down and touched it, which is right before you got in.
Yeah. It's funny, Tom. I was long the ES and I got stopped out for break even, and I was targeting 59 myself. And I said that if we got down to 52, I'd look to get back long again. And we are now back there. And I need to. The Nasdaq came back down to its 50-period EMA, which is also kind of if we can just stay right. So 20. It's literally at 25,000 right now. That the Nasdaq is okay. I just broke through it real quick, actually. So that's interesting. So maybe we see a little bit of a retracement here, and I can get in long at a better price, assuming we don't just literally dump, super far here. If we came back down into I guess the best area would be like 67.50 for me, and I can just essentially risk 2 points, make the risk reward super juicy, but maybe. I'm beggars can't be choosers necessarily. So we'll see if it actually gives me that opportunity. But I'm thinking the same thing as you. Get long. Definitely feeling like I should be getting long to at least, 56 at least. I see liquidity between 56 and 60. I would really like to see it test 67.60. That's really the thought, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a question for the chat, if they will indulge me. Anybody hanging with us here, and be honest. I want you to be honest with my charts. The color, the white blue color. I have white for the green the green candles and blue for the red candles. Do you like it or do you not like it? Let me know, please, because just in case. If more viewers are not opposed to it than opposed to it, then I'll keep it. But if a bunch of people are like, this look, I don't like the way this looks, then I'll just change it. So either way, let me know. Give me your honest feedback. I want it, please.
Yeah, it's interesting. You obviously you have the traditional green red, but a lot of people have blue red because I guess some people some people are a little colorblind to green, from what I've been told or read in articles or something. So that's why they use blue instead. Or I don't know. Have you ever heard that?
Maybe.
Some people have a color blindness.
That makes sense. I've never heard it, but the only reason I change the colors to completely be different is just so that I don't have like people talk about the psychology of green and red on charts and possibly messing with you. And I was like, you know what?
Nope.
I'll just switch it up. Not that I don't know if it really actually does affect me, but for the sake of, I don't really care what the color is. Like if it's not green and red, I don't really care. So I'll just do it just in case it does give me a little bit. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So who cares what the colors are? No, that makes total sense.
So I mean, just in case it for some reason psychologically messed with me for something that I just didn't realize it, I was like, I'll change it. So
yeah. No, I mean, I'll kind of flip on over to Heiken-Eishi at times. If I'm just stuck and can't see a trend developing, just simply, if you go over to Heiken-Eishi candles rather than the traditional Japanese candlesticks, for anybody in the chat, it's pretty simple. It's pretty cut and dry. You can tell on a leg by leg basis where that trend is at. So I can kind of point it out here in a minute, but yeah, it just makes it so freaking simple to get rid of all the noise. And you got consecutive green and red candles or white and blue candles in his instance. And you just need a simple view. Yeah, Heiken-Eishi is the way to go.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
have it saved as a favorite.
I decided to get long one ES just there real quick. So I am long one now. put my money where my mouth is. We'll see what we do here. But
there you go.
I need to look at that height. I need to look at what you just said. I've never seen that before, actually. I'm got to give that a look. Is that even an option in here? I wonder.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely show it here in a minute.
Oh, quick I see it. Okay.
Yep, there you go. It just makes it simple. I mean, typically you have when you got that green up move, I mean, you're going to have, if you look at the Japanese candlesticks, you're going to have a lot more red candles typically in there. But that's just a great way of kind of looking at the momentum of like a handful of previous candles just to determine the overall trend. So it just basically filters out the noise.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really good for especially like higher time frames, just seeing, okay, am I in a daily uptrend or downtrend or 4 hour or whatever your high time frame is for everybody. But I don't use it as an execution. Like I don't place trades on that because the zones, the supply and demand zones, they just don't look the same. And the price moves kind of different in there as well. But if you go back to the Heiken Aishi just for a second there, I'll show you one of the cool things. Just real briefly. The goal is you want to see, like if you go back to that steep uptrend leg, like you'll see there's all the little wicks above the green candles. So the idea is if you're in a strong uptrend, you'll have just your wicks above and no wicks below. And then as you get up to the top, you'll start to see those wicks start to form on the bottoms as well. So that's just part of kind of a potential for the bend at the end, right? Whether you're looking at it up or down. So obviously on a downtrend, you'll want to see the big wicks under the candles and no wicks on tops. And then same thing, when you start to see wicks on either end, that just kind of is a sign to, hey, just be careful. It might be round in the corner. So it's just a really cool way to see the strong trends. Yeah. And then when you get choppy sideways action, like you have right there, your 20 hour to 21 hour, right? You got wicks on both ends all throughout there. So that just means, no trend. So it's just a cool way to do it. Yeah.
Never seen this once in my life, so this is actually very interesting. Never seen it. That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I studied up on it quite a bit, and there's some people that even trade supply and demand zones based off of it, but I just didn't personally like that aspect of it because the price moves a little different in Heiken Aishi. I mean, as far as the price points themselves, down to the pip or down to the tick or whatever, it's the pricing just isn't the same. So when it comes to execution, yes, I still want to execute from the Japanese stick.
I had a previous colleague that purely traded off of bars like this, traded purely off of those high-low bars, and I was like, geez, man, I don't. It's like all the same information as what a candlestick would do, but just in bar form, and I'm just like, but the candles are so much easier to see.
Like if we had no choice but to use that, I'm sure we could, figure it out pretty quick. I mean, I understand how it works, but just training your eyes to be able to see those bars on the left, bars on the right, it's just, racks your brain.
Yep.
Probably the same way it racks people's brains that have never even looked at a chart. They're looking at a chart for the first time, right? Just Japanese candlesticks in general. Like my former supervisor where I used to work, she said, every time I look at your charts, it gives me a headache.
That's what my wife says. That's what my wife says. That every time I look at your screens, I just want to walk away. Like, I don't want to see any of that. I'm like, yep. All right. I get it.
Yep. I get told I'm reading the Matrix, right? From the Matrix and all that. Yeah. It's basically the same thing. Stop and think about it. We look at the Matrix like, what the hell is it? Yeah, it's interesting. There's a story to be told in every single candle.
Yeah.
Or up down candle or whatever you use. Heiken Aishi.
Heiken Aishi.
Or Renko.
I just like saying
Renko is hiking ice. Yeah, that's fun to. It's just fun to say. But yeah, and a lot of them are designed just for simplicity. Like, yeah, the Renko chart. I mean, that's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's nothing I would want to execute my trades on. Just yeah, Renko and hiking ice. I mean, they're just really good for eliminating the noise and seeing. I mean, if you have a Renko chart on your platform, check that one out.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what's funny is,
Oh, you do. Perfect.
Coach Daryl used to trade based on Renko charts, so that's kind of funny.
You want to talk about simplicity?
Yeah.
I mean, that's about as crazy simple as it gets as far as just simple trend. But
wow,
yeah, I think I personally like the hike and ice better than the Renko, but yeah, it's
yeah.
You know, again, it's just a cool. When you're staring at the same Japanese candlesticks all day, sometimes it can overload you. It can just make you see things that maybe aren't there. Chat. So it's if you ever get in that situation, yeah, just completely flip your eyeballs to something that looks a little different, but the same price action. It's just obviously in a different form, and that can sometimes just help you determine. Oh, okay, I am actually in an uptrend, like he has here on gold.
Right.
Rather
This is
than
interesting. I wonder how. I don't even know how these, whatever you want to call them, Renkos or whatever you call these, like little candle looking things.
Yeah.
I wonder how. Yeah, bars. That would be an easy word to
Yes,
use,
I'm
right?
just
Bars.
assuming.
That totally. I don't even know how they're formed. Like, are they based off of volume, or like volume and where the opening closes or something? I wonder. I have to look into what Renko is, and and how it's, because Coach Darrell's mentioned it a couple times, so that's funny.
So for one, each bar is not like if you're on a 1 minute chart or you're on a 5 minute. So each bar does not represent 5 minutes of trading action.
Oh,
it actually, yeah, because if you just move from candle to candle, you'll see that the times aren't just moving by 5 minutes at a time. So it basically, the best I can remember on Renko, it waits for that increment of movement, no matter how much time it takes. So like one bar's increment of movement. Yeah. When the Japanese candlesticks in theory move that distance, then that's when it'll print a candle or a bar or whatever. So yeah, that's part of the confusing part of Renko. Because it's basically just looking for overall movement, up and down movement.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting stuff. But I don't know enough about Renko to dig too deep into it.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Renkos. I'm going to keep you up. Keep you up for good luck, because we're in the green now since we put you up there.
Hey.
Come on.
Renko says, I want 10%. I want 10%. All right, this is ridiculous. I got to find something to trade. I don't want to go Monday without trading. Yeah. 10%.
Let's see what the real candles are saying here. No disrespect to the Renkos. Let me just. All right.
Well, hell,
so the reason I got long again on that pullback, just for context, is because you can tell. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what I saw here, but essentially, obvious trend is like upwards, but then on top of that, we are making like higher highs and higher lows just at each of these kind of swings that we're having. So at 6 p.m. Eastern, we make that first high of the session, swing to the low of 67.46, which wasn't actually the overnight low. Technically, it wasn't the overnight low when looking at the time right after cash close. We then swing up to break that previous high there, make a new high, swing down, make a higher low, swing up just recently, make a higher high. So then getting long at the 51.50 area, 51 quarter area, to then put my stop below where that like last kind of swing low was, just makes sense based on the trend. So at least I got long here instead of long at 67.50, 2.5 or whatever, and don't have to take as much heat. Being patient paid off in terms of a risk to reward setup. At least I'm risking the 3 points here to hopefully be able to make 8 or so. So would be nice if we can make it happen, but I am at the mercy of the markets. So if the NASDAQ could really help me out here and start popping up, that would be the best. If we can pop back above 25,000. Come on, NASDAQ.
You can do it.
Please.
Put your back into it. Come on, Nikkei. Come down to my price point.
The only one that will ever be trading Nikkei on this overnight between you and I will be you, like I said the last time we chatted and traded on the quiet markets, because that is way too costly of a futures contract for me to be messing with. That is for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It is crazy.
The spread is pretty wide, yeah.
The spread is wide, and it's $25 a tick. So it's like, and if it's 4 tick wide, it's like $100 every time it's trying to, somebody's buying or selling it. It's just a bit crazy in the overnight.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, that is definitely an advantage to the CFDs, the cost. Yeah, you'd have to get in a really good move to pay for your, you'd have to be 100% certain, which we're never 100% certain that anything's going to work. That's the way trading is. But that makes total sense. Holy cow, I didn't realize it was that pricey for you. Dang. Yeah,
it's like I'd have to be willing to at least take like a $500 risk on one contract. At least I'd have to be looking to risk, which I mean, for some people that's nothing, that's okay. And that's okay. But on a one-step challenge account where you have, a 150K challenge account where you only have the 3% to play around with, which is $4,500, that's a decent chunk. It's a decent $500 on one contract is a lot. So
that's crazy. Yep. Find something cheaper. Yeah, a lot of people don't think about the costs associated with placing trades on certain markets. Those spreads are, the cost, they can definitely eat into your profits. I mean, that's why I love having a carry trade scanner, just to be able to see, okay, if, with my edge being on the higher time frames, the last thing I want to do is be in a long-term short sell on something like the dollar yen, as an example, because we have a interest rate differential of, was it 3.75% right now? So for every day of close, intraday swap over, turnover, changeover, that a position like that gets charged 3.75% of whatever my overall position is. So it can get pricey. I mean, especially for traders that have multi-million-dollar accounts, right? They know the ins and outs of the carry trade scanner. I mean, not as big of a deal when you have a smaller account, but it still adds up. So, this
is carry trade.
Just one of those nuances.
Carry trading is something that I feel like a lot of retail traders don't pay attention to, like what carry trade even is or what it means. And carry costs associated with really anything, to be quite honest. What is understanding the meaning of being long a basis or short a basis. This is where you start going into studying for the Series 3 exam, the futures exam. And start understanding the futures industries a little bit more with like, the whole thought of carry cost, shorting or what side of the basis are you on, and what have you. And it's interesting stuff. I feel like people should, especially any futures traders, especially should give it a go. Like read some of the material based on like the Series 3, like FINRA exam and whatnot, and what some of this stuff means.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's cool.
Well, I've even thought about taking those exams just for the heck of it. I mean, I don't think I have to necessarily have a Series 3, Series 7, but I've thought it would be interesting to do. So it's something on my bucket list, just for the hell of it. Just get licensed. Never know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can always come in in the future.
For sure. Yeah, some of the stuff you don't need to be sponsored for. So that's why, like, the Series 3 you don't need to be sponsored for by a firm or anything. Yeah, I think the Series 63, like you don't have to be sponsored to take the SIE, which is like now the precursor exam that you need before you can look at taking even the Series 7 or whatever. But the Series 7, you have to be sponsored. Like you have to be working for a firm and sponsored by them in order to even attempt to take it, unfortunately. But like there are some other ones that you don't have to be sponsored for that you can take. And the Series 3 being one of those for sure. I've taken it and passed that one and whatnot. And it's a good one for sure. I think if people just want to learn about the futures industry in general, it's very valuable and it doesn't cost you much.
I don't know the number. There's so many different numbers, but yeah, I didn't even know that till just recently. Like within the last year, I saw there's a Forex specific license you can get.
There are a lot of FINRA exams, that is for sure. There are a ton. So not knowing,
Yeah, I was on their website just looking. I'm like, holy cow. There's like dozens and dozens and dozens of them. It's crazy.
Yeah. So many. So many.
Oh, what do I want to say? What's Bitcoin doing?
Good question. It's in the dumpster Bitcoin the last time I checked it.
Yeah. So it's been in a demand zone all day, a daily demand zone. But the problem is that daily demand zone, when price pushed out of that demand, it really didn't have a very strong gap, and it just wicked into the break of structure territory, but did not close and came all the way back. So I don't know how much credence I want to give that daily demand zone. Oh, it looks like we flipped my chart. Okay. But yeah, and it's kind of diddling in the middle when you look at it on a higher time frame. Uh-oh. We'll come back to you, Bitcoin. Gold screaming at me. Oh! 15. Okay, shut up.
Oh, wow.
So here was that zone I was talking about earlier, because you said you got in right around this area. Now, this obviously is XAU, but yeah, I was looking at this 5-minute demand. It just tapped in beautifully. It went up, but now here we go. Well, let's flip on over to XAU on the old charty piece. Let's see if we can't squeeze a trade in here. See what kind of a bounce we get here. On this, I'm going to look on a 1-minute time frame here in a second and see what we get. Let's see. Do I have any RSI divergence? What's 5 minutes look like? And no real help there. 15. And no real help there. Gold is, by the way, a 4. So for the first time in like 3-4 weeks, it's actually fallen to neutral. But it's still a +4. So I don't mind that at all. Let's just go ahead and take a look down here. All right, gaps there. I got some gaps there. Let's just throw a quickie on.
Dang.
Let's throw a quickie. Come on. I should have had a limit order on here. 37. We'll just do a tiny one. I don't really feel comfortable putting a big position on this. Take one more look at my higher frame. Clear up trend. 15. Make sure I got my gap. Okay, I got my gap there. Got my gap on the 5 minute. I think I want to wait for price to come a little bit deeper, but I'm going to look at it on a 1 minute.
We touched the 21 period EMA on the 30 minute, so that's interesting. We tapped it
nice.
and then popped back up.
Feel like I'd like it to come to the 50% line of the zone, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Take one more look over here. So that'd be the start of the 5 minute gap. So we'd basically be looking at this candle here as kind of the confluence. So we got a 5 minute inside of a 15. And if we go all the way down to the 1 again, yeah, we pretty well got the same gap. Yeah, so looking all the way down at a 1 minute, we got efficiency, 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 efficiency. That would be the first inefficiency right there. So
I will say there's a ton of volume sitting on gold now, like the next like 7 points or $7 down or so. There's like a bunch of liquidity bids, like larger liquidity bids sitting. And I'm wondering if sellers are going to try and just push through all of that before trying to reverse back upwards, or they could just be support right now. And then the sellers are like, you know what? I don't have enough steam to even try to attempt to get through all of that. So it could go either way, but that was such a harsh, aggressive sell off right there. Almost $20 an ounce within 20 minutes there. So
a lot. And it's heavy momentum compared to the more recent push up. I mean, you had a couple little nice candles, including the one that you profited on. But yeah, that's a lot of volume. We got kind of this candle getting bigger than these previous candles. So it's kind of a scary place to enter at the moment, to be honest.
It is.
It is. Yeah, so this is momentum. This is slow momentum. This is harsh momentum, like good momentum, strong momentum. Those are the freight trains that's hard to get out in front of. Oftentimes, they could bounce like dropping a ball off of a roof, though, a rubber ball off a roof, right?
It's true. It's true.
There's kind of an argument to be made either way, right? Price straight down and bouncing, or price coming down at a slant, getting lazy, right? All it needs is a trigger to push up. So there's really a couple arguments to be made on that, on the strength of a zone, or the strength of a move, I should say, a retracement into a zone, what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's a lot of volume for, let's see here. We did get, we're still getting lower highs. I mean, we're finally getting a little bit of a higher high, but I think I need a little more proof. So ultimately what I'd like to see on this thing is a price action like this. So let me get my tool out. Okay, so we got a low point, which is in the demand zone itself. Maybe get a little bit of a push up, a push down. Something like that. And then ultimately, as silly as this sounds, just get like maybe a 1 minute demand zone in this area to bounce off of. This is kind of a confirmation entry right here. But the key is I want to see price break structure. So this is more of a confirmation entry that might take 20 minutes or so. But yeah, price has hit the zone. So obviously this is where people would limit order. But if you're looking for confirmation, which I am because we are so high on the curve, right? Expensive crab legs, right? Even on the smaller time frames. I'd like to see price move up a little bit, come back down a little deeper into the zone so that it's not a double bottom. So I don't want to see a double bottom, because if I see a double bottom, that's obviously enticing to the big players, the big money, the smart money, to want to go and turn around and retrace and take out that liquidity, which if it's still in the demand zone, I'd be fine with it. But they could very easily wick right through So ultimately, if I could get price to come down lower and then go up and form a new, a break a structure, just like we see here. This is an example. Break a structure just to show that you're actually trying to, break structure and move the other way. Then look for the retracement, maybe just in the zone itself, or hopefully like a 1 minute candle with a little gap. That's a lot to ask. It really is. I'm just going over the A plus perfect scenario that I'd like to see. Doesn't mean I'm going to get it, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. Ooh. I needed to prove itself at this point, because if it was that strong of a zone, it would have taken off by now.
And you see what's forming right there. On that chart.
H. Is that it?
You see it. Yeah.
Is that it?
That half bat trying, that good old half bat.
Yeah, I mean, we could just, that's the risk to take. You got to risk it to biscuit. I mean, we could just take a simple market order above the, Coach Michael's bat structure, or W, because we are kind of getting that little bit of a W action. Right.
Indices are starting to finally make a little bit of a break upwards. We're finally getting some decent move to the upside in the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Dow. All three of them are moving in lockstep with each other, so that's good.
Nice. We are starting to get a little bit of a reversal on RSI down here. A little bit of a higher low. How do we think? RSI is curling around, coming back in. You technically have this little 1 minute. I mean, it's probably negligible, but you technically have this little 1 minute supply that it's trying to chew through. Right? How significant that is, who knows? Probably not as significant as this higher time frame demand, but it's still potential, resistance. So for that matter, alone, because you got pretty smooth sailing up for at least a little while, but maybe this is a break retest type of play. Got a few different options here. It's just which one do I want to take? Right, break,
right,
retest, and then buy down there. So there's a lot of squiggly, colorful lines, but there's quite a few different options. It just boils down to one's risk tolerance. I mean, in my old days, I'd have been in the trade, but knowing what I know now about confirmations and very small, very short-term supply zones that could be in my way, and the idea of liquidity sweeps under this area, and momentum just breakout trades, breakout retest trades. I mean, there's so many options here that sometimes you just got to get rid of everything and just watch the candles. Okay, we got a little demand here. Now, this isn't that significant, but that's a little demand. It pushed up, made a new high. We're on very small time frames, but that's what rings true on a 1 hour time frame can ring true on a daily, and so on and so forth. But obviously, the higher the better. The higher the time frame, the better. So it looks like at this point we got the double bottom. Looks like maybe they'll take out the double bottom. Is that still going to be within my zone? Oops, wrong button. All right. I ultimately would prefer price, though, to come down to this demand, this 5 minute demand right here. So I'm eyeballing this candle right here. So we got that gap above it. We come down to there, I might be a little interested in a simple reversal candle and just buy down in that area, because we got the double bottom on the 1 minute. Double bottom, maybe, Yep. Buyers, stop losses. Stop losses are sell orders. Smart money wants sell orders to fuel their buy orders and whatever remaining unfilled orders would be in this area. So yeah, as soon as it comes down, hopefully, and touches the zone, I'm just going to be more interested at this point in looking at a 1 minute time frame and see if we can get a good, strong 1 minute candle with a good, strong bit of volume. If I can get that, probably just hop on in this thing. Obviously, the better idea would be to wait until we break the midpoint of the W or the half a bat.
Right.
So it's just a game of cat and mouse at this point. I got too many drawings on here. Let's get rid of some of these. Just for example's sake.
Yeah.
There we go.
The indices are toying. They are toying with my heart right now. I mean, it's always $50 in the money, $62.50 in the money, or $50 out of the money, 62.5 out of the money. It's like I am in the middle of the diddle. Like it is.
Yeah.
This is just not doing much. Like, well, it is doing it. It's just aggravating because like it's just such a slow grind right now. At this point, we're just slowly grinding in this upwards channel, and every time it looks like it gets close to the bottom of that channel in the ES, the NASDAQ makes it seem like it wants to break because it's a little bit harsher, but then the NASDAQ usually pulls through and bounces to the upside and allows for the ES to make a new high, or a new overnight high in this little channel here. So I don't know if it's going to happen this time, though. We'll see. It's kind of it's iffy. It's iffy. I moved my stop up a little bit. Yeah.
Iffy spiffy. Getting some underneath wicks. It's just going to chill out. Still got pretty decent volume in this area relative to back in time. I mean, it's been elevated volume since, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock my time. Central. Yeah. 9 o'clock you. Take a look at volume throughout the day. Okay, there's obviously the morning volume. Slowly dissipates. Yeah, starting to kind of increase. This is kind of the cool thing about gold, silver, and Bitcoin at times. I mean, usually pretty active in Asia. That's what I like about it. I guess gold is my new favorite Asian boy. But yeah, it's just basically being squeezed and compressed right now between this little bit of a supply and then obviously the supply below it. So at some point, we should be getting a pretty good squeeze up or down. Who knows?
Right.
I mean, my bet is up. So, potentially put a buy stop order above that area, but not me. I like the breaks and retests. It may break. It may break and just run off without me for all I know. If it does, say la vie.
Well, yeah. I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to wonder if like we are consolidating for the sake. Man, I don't know. It's tough. This is a tough one. This feels like a 50-50 coin flip in terms of whether this will break downwards to collect the liquidity or break upwards to like run off without you, like you were saying. It just feels like a coin flip, which I don't like. So the only way I'd get into a trade here is if I got into a long at the very bottom of this little range that we've established in the last 20 minutes, or if I got short at the top of the range and I made my risk super small. It's the only way I feel comfortable being in the trade. So
yeah. It's, you got a big old fight going on. What's that look like on my master pattern? Yep. Master pattern contraction box. So at this point, we're looking for expansion legs. So, I mean, at this point, if I'm looking at it just off the actionable way to look at Wyckoff theory, accumulation distribution, then basically I'd be wanting to, okay, so it looks like we're breaking below, so that's good.
Okay.
Break above. Typically, you'll get another break below because you're collecting liquidity before the trend leg itself. So right now, it looks like a little bit of a sweep underneath. I mean, could that be a spring? Right? Could that be a spring move? The wick itself will tell me a lot if we can get a wick. If we just get a straight expanded range candle close at the bottom, then yeah, that's definitely not an entry signal. But perhaps we get a wick. Be nice. Give me a nice long wick underneath and close. Might tell me a little more information I need to know. I mean, I already got a few wicks over here, but then you got the wicks above. So, but liquidity sweep number one. We shall see. Okay, so we had a little bit of a wick. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Got through one of the levels, got through one of the liquidity levels there. We are still got a larger one, like about 10 ticks or maybe a dollar below where we just sweeped. I'm surprised we didn't try to get through that too, but
so then
maybe
if that's the case, then yeah, maybe we get the sweep on top and then come down to catch that liquidity you're talking about before a leg up. Potentially.
That could be the case. Could be. But
yeah,
we could just also do it right here. These are the ones I definitely don't mess around with. I don't mess around with this action. This is the one I stay away from 100%. Like what you're doing. Yeah. You're looking for the fake out move to occur and then understand after that fake out move what's happening, then to possibly enter. Same, relatively speaking, same. I need to feel way more comfortable than I would feel right now after even that quick little liquidity grab down. I got to see more to understand whether I could get into a trade or not.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I love so much about using the master pattern. I mean, it's definitely confusing when you get this price action because, yeah, who the hell knows? Up or down? Like, where the hell is it going? But just using basic liquidity sweeps kind of helps. Now, it's never a guarantee, just like everything. We always have to throw that disclaimer out. But yeah, the idea is you get the buyers and sellers temporarily agreeing on price, fair market value, right? So in the context of an uptrend, in this case, yeah, I want to see that sweep below to start sucking in the shorts, right? And then, of course, the price moves the opposite way. To smoke them, right? Come up, collect those shorts liquidity as far as their stop losses to feel another move down. So banks love toying with us like this. They might do these expansion legs, higher highs, higher lows many times. Coach James calls it the megaphone pattern, right? Anybody ever watched Coach James on the pre-market pulse show? Yeah, he talks about megaphone patterns, which essentially is what this is. But the idea is it just keeps expanding and expanding, and each time it expands, it's collecting that liquidity to the left, whether it's above or whether it's below. But at some point, you'll catch a trend leg, whether it's up or down. So, for me, that's one of my favorite things to see is when I could see the contraction box, the contraction price action, and then have the expansion legs come out. And I just wait till that expansion leg drops into a demand zone or up into a supply zone. And that's just a very high probability trade. I mean, you're getting in, you're manipulating the hell out of retail traders, confusing the hell out of them, right?
Yeah.
You got losses everywhere. So that's one of my favorite setups, to be quite honest with you, which we're kind of in now. I just wish this whole contraction box had started up a little higher so that we could have an expansion leg, a couple expansion legs come down and touch the zone, without it happening right in the zone. That's the only, I guess, downfall to it. But because, yeah, it's just a lot of confusion right now.
Right.
A lot.
Had the sweep, went back to the top of that range, now back into the sort of bottom of the range. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, part of me was like, it's funny, just at so 10:33 p.m. Eastern, so 9:33 p.m. Eastern your time. Right at the top of that wick was a large aggressive selling delta, and then for
Mm-hmm.
about 15 or 20 seconds, like volume just died, and I was like, "Oh, so this is either going to be like if it pops up, like get long immediately if it starts popping up, or if it looks like it's about to fizzle down, just stay away from it." And it fizzled downwards there over the last now minute,
Yep.
which now makes me feel way less bullish unless we can get back above 3780. If we start to trend back above 3780, then I would consider getting long here. And it looks like we
Mm-hmm.
might. Are we going to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I like how the volume definitely picked up. The volume, well, the volume picked up once it touched the zone, but now we just got to get the manipulation to kind of do its thing. So this is where sitting on your hands and flattening out your hands can make or break your trade.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can clearly see with price action, there's tons of people buying and selling, buying and selling.
Wow. Look at that.
At the end of the day, they're just confusing themselves. So just follow my yellow line, and I'll be happy to get down into the back down in the zone.
Yeah, it's toying. It is toying with people right now. I can only imagine the amount of people getting just chewed up at the moment. Getting long for the breakout, it stops them out. Gets short to break bottom, stops them out. Like, I can just only imagine the amount of chop people are going through. Ugh. Feel for them.
Yeah. I do too, but hopefully they'll be sitting in our seat in another 5-10 years, looking back saying, "Oh, yeah. I feel sorry for those new people that are currently getting chopped up." Right, that's the point. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to want to buy the breakouts, right? Once we get this break above this wick right here, man, that's hard to avoid just wanting to go along. But yeah, it's just, man, when you figure out how liquidity works, you'll understand it. It's definitely a hell of a lot easier for me to sit and wait on my perfect entry than it used to be. I mean, I used to be I would have done been in this trade 5, 6, 7 years ago. And then I'd be sitting here thinking, damn it, they're toying with me. I fell victim to the liquidity game. So
I will say, after this last like 3 minutes and now seeing what's happening, it makes me more and more want to play the long. Like the long feels really good right now, but I'm simply just holding off because we're coming into the last 20 minutes of our session here, and kind of just want to. I've got the ES trade on still that I'm very 50-50 on at the moment, so I'm gonna let it go. I want to let the gold go, not have to. Because this one, the gold requires a lot of attention. The gold requires pure attention, if we're being honest. So,
and just something else to be aware of. You got this high, this new high, but down here on a 1 hour, well, we're getting a little bit of a negative a divergence, right?
Okay.
So that's kind of going against this bullish idea. Now that's a higher time frame, but still,
right.
Is RSI saying, "Look out, the end is near," right before a big retracement? So, not saying that is 100% it, but that's just one. That's only one odds enhancer. So that's one odds enhancer that's going against the smaller time frame buy. Now you look at the smaller time frame. We just looked at the 1 minute. Obviously, you got a little bit of a divergence, but what do I want to trust more? 1 minute time frame or a 1 hour time frame? Right. So there's a lot of nuances to be to take into consideration, but
the answer is neither. 15 seconds. That's it. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Wait, what time is it? Oh, I thought it was 9:59 already. I was like, what? Oh, it was 9:30.
No.
You said that. I thought it was about the end of the show. Let's go back over.
Wow. My 67.59 target at the moment in the ES seems like 400 miles away at this point. I mean, if the move is going to happen, it's not going to probably happen in these next 20 minutes. That's for sure. I mean, geez Louise, as the equity markets have disappointed in this 2-hour session that we are coming close to the end of, but
yeah, that was the sorry, I was just catching up on the chat. No, that was my alert. I had an alert go off, so that's why the echo. What the hell was that alert?
Oh, you're good.
I totally forgot about the alert because I was watching gold. Let's see, what was I looking at over here? No, 1 hour, 30 minute. Let me turn off my master patterns. Okay, 30-minute demand. Eventually broke structure, but was kind of lazy. Let me go back to my 4 hour. Okay, so 4 hour demand. Price screamed up, got lazy, and then screamed down and started to get lazy. And then we hit the zone and we got a little bit of a bounce. So momentum, strong momentum, that's a scary place to buy. That's why it cut through this demand, right? You had that lazy move up, but a much stronger decline. This is momentum. We was talking momentum earlier. So that big screamer is the reason why to probably avoid that 4 hour demand. And it was a good thing we did because it just chewed right through it. So it chewed through it, didn't really slow it down even that much, but then it finally kind of started to get lazy, and then it finally bounced into the demand. I don't know if that might still be a lot of momentum, but it's less momentum than this move up, the move out of that area. So this strong momentum, I feel like could be stronger than this momentum. It's more angled, not quite 45-degree angle, but it's definitely slowing down. So let's see where we're at. Yeah, it looks even better on a 1 hour. Strong move down, late, starting to get lazy, and then we just tap in, get a nice bounce. So now this could be a secondary bounce off 30-minute demand. Again, I just wish if these candles would have closed up here, if this candle would have closed above this area, I'd have been all in this trade. But it only wicked, and it didn't even break it and close until a long time later.
Gold looks like it's going to break a little bit, possibly, by the way. Might break upwards here. So just letting you know real quick. It could be priming itself. Feels like it's coiling to the upside. So
yeah,
just so you are aware.
Forming another contraction box. So we made the one expansion leg down, then we came right back into the range and we're forming another contraction box. So that's good. That means it's going to be a strong move one way or another, whether it goes up or down. I'm just obviously going to place my bet that it's going to go up. But
yeah,
question would be, what else have I got? Let's see. Demand down here. Yeah, I think I'll just stick with where I'm at the 1 minute. Yeah, not the greatest volume when you look at it in the context of 15 minute for the Asia session. That's always the downfall to trying to buy supply and demand in Asia. You just don't get a ton of convincing volume. Now we got the convincing volume over here on this right side after that demand zone that I'm currently watching was formed. So not very convincing. That's kind of the downfall to this move. But this was very compelling, and where you got your profit, that's compelling stuff. Yeah, we still have elevated volume, so this is another thing I have to keep in mind, right? Pretty good volume. Is that tiny volume demand zone, is that going to do me any good? See, that's probably where I'm just going to skip it.
Well, the NASDAQ is trying to move up, and the ES is trying to move up, and the Let's if we can quickly switch to my screen
Yeah.
real quick,
Let's move on to
production.
yours.
We can,
Because my stuff ain't really going anywhere.
if they see it before. There we go. Awesome. Perfect. Thank
there
you.
go.
Awesome. So it looks like, this is a 15-minute chart, by the way. So that just shows you how much the indices are really like kind of barcoding in their own way. The NASDAQ does not want to get above 25,005, and the ES just does not want to like get above 6752.50 essentially right now. It looks like it looks, according to the order flow, like it wants to, like it's gonna happen, like the break upwards will happen. It's just I don't know how long it'll take, and who knows if a headline comes out of any sort overnight and doesn't allow it to happen, or makes it happen, or what have you. But man, this is rough. I feel like if I don't get out now, it might just go back down, then it'll be red 25, and then we're going to end the session, and I'm just going to get out of the trade anyway. So I don't know. I'm just going to let it go. I think let it do its thing, and I won't even close out at the end of the session. I'll just let it run its course and give it its room and try it, I guess. Just try it for the break. But
Yep. Gold's doing some thinking.
Okay.
It's doing some thinking. I just need a few more. I need another high and another retracement. That'll make me feel a little better. Hurry up and wait, military style.
For real.
Hurry up and wait.
Man. Come on, NASDAQ.
I mean, I love that. And I also love that we still have pretty good volume going. I mean, even in that super tight coil, still got super strong volume relative to the first part of the Asia session.
Wow.
Low,
okay. I see. Consolidating a bit to the downside in gold, back to the bottom of its range. Okay. All right. I see.
That's what you call a dogfight between the buyers and the sellers.
This really is.
Dog fight.
Let's see. Let me look at the depth of market real quick. Oh, man. So about a couple bucks under where we're at now. There is a little bit more liquidity, obvious liquidity, and then literally $6 below where we are now is where the large amount of liquidity is that could be like raced through. So we could just drop like $6 within a minute, collect it all, and then make that move that you're talking about back. Maybe that would be the final push down to then be able to get long like you were looking for originally. Yeah.
That's fine. I can wait. Give me that spring candle. Give me that spring candle. Yeah, give me that low right there. Give me that low. Give me that low. Give me that low. Give me that low. And a lot of times supply and demand zones maybe won't be the exact point where price reverses, but they do a good job of slowing price down because there are the unfilled orders in there typically to where, maybe the price just goes down below the zone a little bit, right? So it basically does its job. It's just, that's always the challenge is waiting for those springs or waiting for those engulfing candles to confirm it's wanting to try to move the other way finally. The buyers are stepping in hard enough. So, I mean, ideally I like to buy within the zone itself, but if it goes under my zone, hey, at the end of the day, I'm not here to try to be right or wrong. I'm just here to try to make money. So if it wants to catch a bid underneath my demand zone, that's fine. I'm okay with that. At least the zone did its job and at least slowed it down and kind of changing changing the cycle, if that makes sense.
Right.
And obviously, everything in reverse is true for supply zones. So
Mm-hmm.
just do its job and slow it down and catch a bid or an ask.
I knew this was.
But it is like watching
Jeez.
paint dry at times, right?
Right.
This is the time to sing or tell a joke, karaoke, right? Or whatever.
I need to watch your karaoke video. I need to watch that. Man.
Yeah, I threw
I
a
was
bunch
told
up
it was
there.
good.
I had a lot of
I was told
downtime on my hands when I was between jobs. And
That's awesome.
did a lot of door dashing. So I was in my car quite a bit. And you can only be in your car and talk to yourself so long before you start going crazy or find something productive to do in between orders. So that was it. I mean, I listened to a lot of audiobooks. Don't get me wrong. I actually took quite a bit of advantage of listening to a bunch of trading books and people books, life books, business books, things of that nature. But even at that, even as good as that stuff is, it's still good to get away and listen to music or just make your own music.
Yeah.
In my instance.
Have a little fun. Yeah, exactly. Have a
I
little
like
bit of
the
fun,
arts.
you know?
I like the music. I grew up in a family of singers. My brother had a band, and
That's
he did
awesome.
a lot of recording when I was younger, and got a couple old recordings, professional studio type stuff. So pretty cool. But as far as those recordings, I mean, that's not with any. That's just cheap equipment. It's just I got a cheap. I mean, I just got a cheap Airbud or AirPod or whatever you call it.
Right.
And it's got a built-in speaker. So I just essentially went onto an app, a karaoke app, and created it all. So, not the greatest quality, but I wasn't going for quality. I was just going for something to do. So I like it. Great.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love
It was
it,
a lot
man.
of fun.
For sure. I am petrified of any sort of like singing to anybody. So it is like one of my biggest fears, I feel like. So that is it's pretty ridiculous, but it's the truth, you know.
Yeah, as silly as it sounds, because I've done a lot of it, it's always been easier for me to do it in a giant crowd as opposed to just a small crowd. Because you can kind of cut up and let loose a little bit. I don't know what it is. You would think it'd be the opposite, right? Small handful of people, not really. That intimidates me more than a stage in front of hundreds or thousands of people. They have a big country music festival here in Kansas every year at Tuttle Creek in Manhattan. It's called Country Stampede. So off to the side of the main stage, they had an actual karaoke stage where you could just sing anything. It doesn't have to be country, but I ended up getting on there and doing karaoke. And you got thousands of eyeballs watching you, right? You got a bunch of, I mean, it's probably 100,000 people total in the whole.
That's awesome.
The whole place. But there were probably at least thousands of people just watching just strictly the karaoke stage itself. So, but that was easy to me, doing it in a crowd like that as opposed to, like I said, just a small group. So it's just kind of weird that's more comforting to me than a small group.
That's funny, man. That's like a different. Your brain is like built different to have that feeling. To be quite honest,
probably. Yeah.
I'd be like, why do I look like a deer in headlights? I mean, I don't think either one sounds good for me personally, but you know, that's like a thing. Like, I'm sure it's one of those things where you do it, and the first time maybe it goes really bad, but then if you have the courage to do it again and it goes good, you kind of get hooked on to doing it. Or if you just do it and it's good the first time, you're like, all right, that's gone now. Like that pressure.
It's kind of like an adrenaline rush. Yeah. Some people skydive. Some people jump off the high dive or cliff dive, right? However you like to get your rush. you like golf? I mean, I'm sure you probably want to keep your adrenaline in check in that sport, but yeah, it's whatever you get your kicks, but it's an adrenaline rush to me.
Yeah.
Fun adrenaline.
No, for sure.
The first time I ever did karaoke was at a bar when I was in high school. I sang Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson. Now I don't really get into as much of the country anymore, but yeah, that's how I got my start.
Yeah.
Chattahoochee.
I gotta listen to that. I don't think I know that one. I need to give that a listen.
Oh yeah,
just
type it in that was the first one ever.
Oh man.
So at this point,
crazy.
it looks like gold has went through the distal line of the demand zone. So let's see if we can get some type of reversal. If not, I'll just let it go. I mean, it was a good idea, but just didn't quite get the reaction.
Oh, here we go.
Get some more down. Oh yeah, you said there was a little bit of a liquidity down there, right?
Yes. So right now it's at 37.74. Like we're trading at 37.74, but the liquidity is at 37.71 and 37.70. That's where we see 85 contracts on the bid and 55 contracts on the bid, which are some relatively larger contract amounts in this overnight here to be on the bid offer. So, but dang, dude, it just popped through a little bit of liquidity there and then bounced right back up. This is a difficult one for sure.
Yeah.
No way I'm getting in any of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm already dealing with a stubborn one.
Yeah, it keeps making you think it wants to pop up. You get a little bit of a wick or a little bit of a push, but then it just all of a sudden says, we'll just avoid the higher high.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get that close. I was hoping that would be an engulfing candle, that last 1 minute candle. But no, it wants to close below the wick of the previous candle. But then you get the next candle. It is trying to pop. Oh, somebody's hot rodding their car outside. Probably hear it.
Ever so slightly, I did.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice area where I live, so you get a lot of people with their hot rod cars that'll just come down our street, our highway, our boulevard, and just open it up. Just open it up.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Give her a little room to run.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Well, see, now we've got a couple really nice bullish candles on the 1 minute. But yeah,
I know.
Then you got the reversal candle. So yeah, I think I'm just going to be a wash on this session again. Just didn't quite. Yeah, I hope it's nothing else for those of you that are watching. I hope you at least are understanding the patience. It takes patience. It takes patience to wait for your rules to be touched. Because if your rules are not getting touched, don't take the trade. It's as simple as that. So,
yeah,
if I've done one thing today for everybody in Forex, Fire, and Quiet Markets, I hope you understand the patience. Gotta have patience.
Yeah, man. Hey, it can keep you out of a really bad situation. Honestly, I mean, like we were saying with this situation with gold, you could be getting chopped up like crazy if you're not giving yourself super wide stop losses or anything, honestly. So
yeah, and the price action is showing that a ton of people are getting chopped up. The volume spikes and the contraction. And now we're getting manipulation underneath. But hey, man, we've reached the end.
We have reached the end. I'm still in my very boring ES trade that I literally was in essentially for an hour and a half at this point. But we will conclude it here. Thanks, Chet, for hanging out with us in the Quiet Market session. At least we traded a little bit of gold, a little bit of ES. But catch us again tomorrow for Quiet Markets, the Quiet Market session. Catch us for the Forex Fire session early tomorrow morning.
5 hours from
And
now.
the futures, yep, 5 hours from now. So, and then the futures takeoff session starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So, thanks again, everybody. Coach Tiger, have a great night. I will see you tomorrow night, my friend. All right.
All right. Take care. Thanks, chat.
All right. Have a good one. See you guys.
All right. All right.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.